A module file is another tool to help us increase your speed and efficiency. It's a method of saving numerous objects and or elements into smaller chunks so you can actually recall them quicker and cut down the number of keystrokes you use. A module can be as small as a few objects, as large as a whole building. They can be standalone modules or hot-linked modules. Hot-link merely means that they are linked to an original source, so that if you change that original source, all the files or instances that appear in the master plan will automatically update. But a standalone module is totally independent. Both types of modules need to be imported in a different manner. Modules are merged, and hot-link modules are brought in by going to File, External Content, and Place Hot-link Module. So first of all, we're going to create a module. So first of all, I'm going to be on the arrow tool. I'm just going to select everything here in this kitchen, and I'm going to copy it to the clipboard. So I'm going to go Control C or Apple C, and here I'm going to say File, Save As, Module from Clipboard. I'm going to call this Kitchen, and I'm going to save it into my model folder. However, I'm going to drag it from my model folder into my library modules folder, and I'm going to place it in there. So now I'm going to close that. I've put it in there so I can find it easily at a later date. So now if I want to import that same module, I go to File, and now I actually merge it. So if I merge the file, I go to my library modules folder, select the kitchen mod, and we can see a little snapshot of it there, and then we can go open. Just going to bring that in. It's got some marching ants going around the module file, but I'm just going to, if I click in it, I can keep moving around, but if I click out of it, it actually places the module, and we don't want to place the module exactly on the last one, on where I created it from. So I'm just going to move that over to here, and I can keep moving it around until I click outside of it, and then the module's placed. So now if I go to F3, we can see that I've got another instance of just those items that I selected, and the beauty of this is I don't have to go and select each one of these cabinets, set it up like I want to, although we have favorites and we can use that. But over here we can bring in the whole kitchen with all the settings that we require, and with a minimum of effort. This can be done with bathroom modules, kitchen modules, anything you like, even whole units if you want. And it's just a much quicker way of working if you're using something over and over again and it's more than just one element, in which case you would just use the favorites menu. So if I close that now I'm going to do an example of a hot-link module. So once again, I'm going to select these items, and I'm going to push File, External Content, Save Selection as Module. This time I'm going to call this Kitchen Hotlink, and I'm going to save it to that same folder as a module file. Push Save. Now when I want to bring that file in, I'm going to push File, External Content, Place Hotlinked Module. It's going to choose a master layer. The module master layer is the whole module is placed on a master layer, and the elements of the module keep their original element specific layer assignment, and they're placed on corresponding layers in the current project. If the layers with these names exist, if necessary, new layers will be created. But the master layer controls the visibility and the locking of modules as an entity. The master layer is an ordinary layer of the host file and can include any other elements. Different instances of the same module can be assigned to different master layers. Even though individual objects in each module may share layers with the master files and even other module files, when you hide the master layer in the master project, it will hide all the objects associated with the master layer, regardless of which layer they occupy in the project. If individual layers need to be created to accommodate an incoming module, then those layers will be created. However, layer sets of the source file are not imported with modules. For best results, it's best to use the same layer structure in both the source and the host file, so not to increase the amount of layers that you have in your master file, other than the addition of master layers to help control the visibility of your modules. So element-specific layers control the visibility of elements within that module. If an element-specific layer is locked, the module is still editable even if any of its elements are in this locked layer. Locking a master layer has priority over the delete break commands in the Hotlinked Manager dialog box. These commands only act on modules with an unlocked master layer. So if I choose the hotlink, I can choose a hotlinked module kitchen, and we can see the kitchen module that was created from the clipboard. We can't select that at all. So if I click on the kitchen hotlinked module and push OK, now we can change the orientation of it as well, but at the moment I'm just going to place it exactly the same way. Here we can link it to a story, and we can see we can change the elevation of it, but I'm just going to leave it where it is at the moment, and I'm going to place that module. This time I'm going to choose a different layer as the master layer. I'm going to choose Kitchen 2, and it's always a good idea to create a specific layer that you can use as a master layer. Then I'm going to choose a hotlink. I'm going to choose the same hotlink again, place the module, and paste it in the current view. Now I'm going to place a hotlink module with a rotation, and going to choose a hotlink again, same one, push OK, place module, paste. So I'm going to put that up there, and this time, the very last time, I'm going to mirror it and place it on the same master layer. Okay, now here we have all my hotlink modules placed. If I go to the 3D window, we can see all the modules placed there, and you'll notice when we try and select something, we can select everything individually. However, if we go to Edit, Grouping, and uncheck Suspended Groups, we can see the whole module being selected, unless we go to the module that I saved from the clipboard, which is individual elements. So now if I close that and go to the layers, if I turn the master layer off for that particular, so only the modules that were on that master layer have disappeared, even though every item in that module is mixed up with all these other layers. I'm just going to save this by pushing Control or Apple S. I'm going to save it. Now I'm going to open the linked module, and I want to launch a new instance of ArchiCAD. This is also new for version 10, and I'll just wait for ArchiCAD to open again. Now with the module opened, I'm going to delete a few things. I'm going to delete the overhead cabinet, and of course the bench. Now I'm just going to save that again, and then hide this ArchiCAD and come back to this one. Now if I go to File, External Content, Hotlinked Manager, we can see that all the instances of the hotlinks are now outdated. So now I can just push the update file, push OK, and we can see all the instances have changed except for the module that we saved from the clipboard, and the original one, of course. Now there's numerous ways of breaking a large file down into smaller chunks. You might want to do this if you have a team of people that you want to assign to a larger project, and it doesn't matter whether that project is a vertical building or a horizontal site that's spread right out. You can break it down using Hotlinked Modules. In this particular example, you've got to remember that there's no right or wrong way to do this as long as you've got a good plan. Over here, in this example here, we've got this very tall building, and it's got one master file, which is basically the shell or the external structure only, and possibly the floors or slight variations of. And then we've broken the building down into 3 areas: the upper area, the central area, and the podium, which might contain stores. Area 2 might contain living areas, and area 3 might contain penthouse suites. So we've got the 3 areas there, and those 3 areas are broken down further into another Hotlinked module, which would be the individual units that make up perhaps the penthouse suites, the individual units that make up the residential part, and the individual stores that make up the podium part. Then we might break those down into bathroom details, interior details or elevations, and kitchen details. And this is a way of breaking down this larger project into smaller projects that individual teams can work on independently, and then by saving all the changes to the Hotlink modules, it updates the master file.